Okay, welcome everyone. Uh, all right, we are back here with Reed, and we're gonna welcome Anders here as we begin our. Let's see here. We're gonna begin our first match of the third set of Group B. Looking at the standings right now in this scene right here, we see that Carter Thomas has qualified, but these are still in play here. Let's just keep in mind that whoever loses this match, I believe, is eliminated from the Clock Cup. Anders needs to win by a specific margin. I believe it's 7, if I'm not mistaken. So he has to win by 7, which would bring him to a +1 solve difference. Or we have Reed winning this match and hoping that Brendan loses his match today so that Reed can qualify. So that is basically the overview here, and we're gonna start looking out for that. But without further ado, I don't think there's any more time to delay here. I'm looking at Zach right now. For number 1 seed, a Carter win or a Carter loss by 2 or less will guarantee no 1 seed. An exact number will be determined after the Anders match. Okay. So, without further ado, I think we can get started here. So, Reed, since you're in the higher seed, which side would you like to go for on the coin? I'm just gonna pick a random coin here. Reed.
Oh, I'm gonna go with heads.
Heads, cool. Alright, let's see how this goes. Alright. Oops, okay. That's gonna be tails. Alright, that is going to be tails right there. Anders, you want to go first or second?
I want to go second.
You're gonna go second. Okay, so once Reed starts, we will begin. You guys may scramble. Good luck to the both of you.
Good last warm-up solve before starting.
Alright, I'm gonna serve it up in both of you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Alright, we are starting. Okay. Alright. Once Reed starts, that's when time begins. Reed's putting his clocks away here. Reed's getting situated. The match has begun. The match has not begun yet, actually. And now the match has begun. That flip looked very shaky, but it's still alright from what it looks like. That's going to be a 4.9. Okay. Let's look at how Anders does here. Currently looking at the statistics, it is 53-47 in favor of Anders. So that's very interesting to watch here. Anders is going to start off. Let's see what it looks like. He also uses no flip too, but this doesn't look that good. It's probably gonna be like a 6 or a 7. It's gonna be a 666. It's gonna be a first point for Reed here. That is key. Usually the person who wins the first point, more often than not, wins the match. But it started to become more of a 50-50 shot here. So we're going to see how this goes. Reed here representing the United States, and Anders representing Norway, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see how Anders does in this solve. There's not a lot of lucky cases for him, but it looked decent enough. It might be a 5 or a 4. I'm not entirely sure. It's a 451. It's pretty good. Honestly, I think with no flip, Anders here is more consistent than Reed's last opponent, Brendan, who had a lot of trouble competing last time. So, taking that into account, this could be either the same amount of difficulty or less, but it's not going to be a good solve for Reed here. That is going to be a 645. It's going to be a point for Anders. It is now 1-1. Let's see if Anders can take the lead. An early lead, obviously, is a good thing. At this point, it doesn't really mean anything, to be honest, but it is a good bellwether, I should say. There's a corner skip on this side, and also an adjacent case, too. Anders will definitely take that into effect for his no-flip solves. Reed is getting prepared. Reed is starting. That, I don't think Reed's liking is solving so far. That is going to be a 470. Reed's standing up. Reed's getting the nerves out of his system right now. Anders opting to go for the lucky case in the back. Let's see if it's going to be a 470. It might not. Or it might. It looked pretty good. It's a 544 though. You honestly really can't tell what it is with flip, but Anders is not taking the lead here. Reed is going to get his second point. There's a lot of Norway representation right now. The chat seems to be split. At least a lot more split than it was last time. It seemed to be a little more in favor towards Reed. So, it's also a good indicator of who might win. The odds have just flipped, though, with Reed being more likely to win, but obviously you can't really change your votes, so it might not be accurate. Okay, Anders is starting. That's not going to be a great solve, though. It'll most likely be a 579. Anders is not living up to his average here. Only getting 1 sub 4 from the past 4 attempts. Reed is starting. Second side, first side looked a little worse than okay. The second side looks good. It's going to be a 503. Be a point for... No, it's not a point for Anders. I will change that on the scoreboard right now. That is my bad. I believe test 2 is in Reed's favor. Test 1 is in Anders. Yep, okay. Alright. Reed is starting off first. I do see an AUF skip on here and also an adjacent case, so we're gonna see what happens. I think go for the adjacent case in the front, but that looked decent. That is going to be a 438. Wow, okay. Let's see if Anders can catch up to that. It's going to be very hard. He's more known for being consistent rather than pulling good singles, but that's also a decent strategy in this sort of event. I often go for the adjacent case in the back, but I don't think that's going to be a 438. It's probably going to be a 5 of some sorts. A 641. That is going to be a point for Reed here. Reed is probably very satisfied with how he's doing. Anders needs to win this match, or else he is eliminated from the Clock Cup. So, we're going to see how this goes. Alright, let's go on here. So, Anders, it doesn't look like a great solve for him. That's going to be a DNF. all Reed needs to do now is solve the clock. This could be a blowout for Reed, honestly, depending on how this goes. Because so far, Reed is probably going to get 5 points here. So, well, we kind of saw this last time where Reed was in a similar position here with 4 or 5 points in the Brendan match. But Brendan kind of started to kick it off a little more. And then that's going to be 5 points for Reed. But then also after that, Reed, or Brendan, I guess, sort of caught up. And then after that, I went back again to Reed and to Brendan. And then Reed eventually won in a tiebreaker. So, or at least the infinitive match point, I should say. Alright, Reed is starting. Looking at the scramble, it does seem like there's an whoa, okay. That is going to be a very solid solve. That's probably going to be a low 4. That's going to be a 4.
A messy solve, but not bad.
Messy solve, but not bad. That's what I got. 450. Let's see. Anders has yet to beat that time. His fastest solve being a 451. Let's see if he does it now. We're going to see how this looks. In the back. Okay. That might beat it. It's a 431. Yep. That's going to be Anders' second point. That's a much needed point from Anders here. Reed is fixing his timer here a little bit. Okay. Anders is starting. Okay. Anders has begun going for the edge case in the back, but it doesn't look like a great solve. That is going to be a solved clock at least. It's a 529. It seems decent. Or at least decent enough here. Let's see how Reed does. Okay. Reed is starting. The flip looked slow, though. This could be a much-needed point for Anders here. That's not going to be great. It's a that's a 510. That's a 510. That beats it. It's going to be a 6 point for Reed here. Anders is at a 6-2 deficit, so it's not great. But you know what? This whole clock cup, there have been multiple upsets, close victories, so this could possibly be one of them. Reed is gonna go first. It's getting the nerves out. Okay. Reed is starting. That first side looked fast, but was that a double flip that I see? That looks to be probably a 5-4. 477. Yep. Alright. Let's see how Anders does. These competitors have used a lot of their warm-up time here. Okay. Anders opting to go for the edge case in the back, but it's a DNF. So Reed takes that point 2-7. This seems to be pretty crushing for Anders right now because Anders needs to win by a specific margin. If Reed hits 8 or above 8 right now, Anders is eliminated from the clock cup. So that is important to note. Anders needs to win the next 13 solves if he wants to stay alive. see here. It's a lockup from Anders. That's not going to be good. That's going to be a 6-13. Let's see how this goes. Okay. It looks alright.
My timer malfunctioned.
Oh. Was it? Oh, how did it malfunction?
It just like completely turned off when I stopped the timer, but the time I saw was 4:97.
We're gonna go with that, I think. Yeah, we'll go with that. Okay. That's gonna be a point for Reed here. Okay.
Being kind of weird, but a couple saw it before, so I thought that was kind of bound to happen.
Alright, yeah, that would definitely be Anders' time. If anyone wants to look at that, then that'd be appreciated. But looking at this scramble right now, there is a adjacent case here, and also a corner. No, actually, there is no corner skip. So Reed is fixing his timer. Hopefully, so that timer malfunction doesn't happen again. Okay. Reed is starting. That looked very smooth. That could be a sub 4. That could be a
Nice.
that's a 420 though. 420 on the nose. Okay. Let's see how Anders does here. Anders needs to win this solve, or else he's eliminated from the clock cup. That could do it. I could do it. So, no, sorry, it's a 492. Reed gains another point there. A 2-9 right now. All right. Okay. Anders is starting. And Anders is kind of in a weird position right now, because he has to sort of... Oh, wow. Oh, wow. What was that? That was a 394. Okay.
Anders has to hit the green.
Yep. Alright. Okay. Wait, did that beat a free... No, sorry, it's a 421. That's a point for Anders there. Okay. We're gonna go into approximately 3 minutes of stoppage time right now. Let's see if Reed can hit double digits. Okay. Reed here is starting off. Alright, let's see how this goes. Reed, that was a pretty solid solve. Oh, and he got a sub 4 too, from what it looks like. Let's see what the time was. It's a 392. That is the best solve so far of the match. Let's see how Anders deals with this. That's not gonna beat a 392. Reed enters the double digits, I believe. It's gonna be a 517. Alright, Reed has hit double digits here for 310 right now. Wow, Anders is not living up to expectations from what it looks like. So I think it's fair to say at this point Reed is highly favored to win. Alright, Anders is starting. Let's see what this time is. The solved clock, I believe. 576. Alright, Reed is starting off. Let's see what that is. That might not... Is that going to beat a 576? It's a 492. Okay, that's going to be 11 points for Reed here. Seems to be a blowout, honestly, from Reed's end. A very surprising one, to say the least, since they both average around the same from what it looks like. Alright. Okay, Reed is gonna start this solve. The timer is stopped because we have reached 18 minutes of stoppage time. Okay. Reed is starting.
My timer shut off. I'm gonna.
Alright. Seems like his timer is going, though. Alright. He pauses a little bit there. Let's see. This is going to be Reed's 12th point. It's a 430 from Reed. Okay. Looking at Anders' solve, that's not going to be... That's going to be a 464. It was a good try, but Reed gains a 12th point there. Okay. Do either of you want to go into a halftime break? Thumbs up or thumbs down?
I'm good to keep going.
Yeah, sure.
Alright, we're going to keep going right now. As a reminder, Anders, you need to win 12. Reed, you need to win 3. Good luck. Okay. So we're going to keep going here. Reed is going to go second. Anders is going to go first. Once Anders starts, that's when time begins. So I'm going to adjust the clock. We're going to enter in the solve here. Let's keep going. Alright. Anders is starting. Alright, electing to go, and that is time. Time is starting, I should say. That is going to be a solved clock. It's going to be a 562. That is very reasonable for Anders to beat right now. Anders has only gotten a handful of sub 5s within this match, so it's a solved clock from Reed. It is 461 from Reed right now. That's going to be 13 points for Reed. Wow. Okay. Let's see here. So there was an edge case or an edge skip on this scramble, so this is going to be quite interesting. Let's see if a Reed can pull this out and get to match point right now. because Anders has to win a grand total of 12 solves, and he isn't even going to qualify. He is just simply going to stop Reed in his tracks, but Reed doesn't like this solve. That's not going to be... It didn't look that great. It's a 701. Anders can beat that, getting a 4th point here. Possibly. Alright. Anders is starting, but it looks like that could beat a 7. That's going to be a 592. So yes, that is correct. Anders has gotten a much needed 4 points. At this point, Anders is honestly just trying to get Reed to just waste his time right now, hopefully. Okay. Looking at the result here. Oh, Anders is having some difficulty, I think. He has to look at the second side there. It's going to be a 10 from Anders. Wow. And that's a DNF anyway. Okay. So, all Reed needs to do right now is just solve the clock. Reed's not... Reed's doing the shake thing. Alright, and Reed just needs to solve the clock right now. So, that's going to be a solved clock. That's all we need to know. Reed is at match point right now. Is he going to win by double digits? This is going to be a rare double-digit win. We've only had one, or actually... Wait a second. We've only had a handful of double-digit wins. We've only had, I believe, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've only had 6 within the past, like, 20. So, hopefully, let's see. This is going to be the benchmark to beat for Anders. But the benchmark could be easy. That's going to be probably a 6 or a 7. Let's see what that was. That's going to be a 624. Can Anders beat a 624? It would have been 6, actually. Alright. Oh, Anders is... starting, is that going to beat a 624? Yes, it is. It's going to be a 584 for Anders right now. Let's see. There have actually been 6. That is my bad. Okay. Alright, this is going to be the benchmark to beat for Reed here to win this match and get a double-digit win. Let's see. Anders is being quite messy with the cross, especially on the backside. It's a solved clock, though. Seems defeated here. It's a 902. That's all Reed has to beat here. It's a 902. It's not... This is going to be probably an easy point for Reed and an easy win right now. Okay. Reed is starting. Let's see here. The first side looks shaky. It's a solved clock. Yep. And Reed wins that. That's a 522. And that is it. Reed has won 15-5. That is the final score here. Okay. Wow. So unfortunately, this means that Anders is now eliminated, and Reed gets to see another day. So, what were your thoughts about that match for both of you? Wait, can I hear both of you first of all?
I think so.
Yeah,
Yes.
hopefully.
Okay, cool. So what are your thoughts?
Feeling pretty optimistic about this match. I'm happy with how, not just because I won the margin that I won by. I think I have a much better chance of going to the knockouts now.
Ah, okay. Yeah, because you are actually in the second position right now. So, you're basically at this point all you can do is just watch essentially because you are sorry, what did you say?
How many points does Brendan need to win his Carter match by?
I think Zach is gonna update up that on us on that right now because Zach is currently, I believe, he's watching but he's not available. So, all right, okay,
I think after the two matches that he did against Anders and Brendan, I think his current solve difference is +1. Because you won against Anders by 2, and then I beat him by 1. So
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
okay, all right. So, Anders, do you have any thoughts about that match?
Yeah, I didn't perform nearly as well as I have before. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I realized like I didn't solve well before the match either. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's unfortunate.
So, Reed, I just like to touch upon your point for the knockout stages. How,
Yeah.
I guess, what are you looking for? You're obviously looking for Brendan probably to lose that match because that would essentially guarantee you into the sort of the Claw Cup. So, what are your thoughts about that?
Well, he's going against Carter Thomas. I lost against Carter 15-8, and I think me and Brendan are about the same speed. So I think it's pretty likely that Carter will win that match, and then I'll go to the knockouts.
Yeah. Okay. So, interesting sort of prediction there. So, we'll see what happens. I kind of have to run, but that is going to be a 15-5 score at 9 p.m. Eastern. We're going to go back for a Brendan Carter match. That's going to determine
If I move on.
yes. So that is going to be it. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys at 9 p.m. Eastern.
See ya.